Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is my 2022 BookTube Prize Quarterfinals TBR video. The BookTube Prize was started by Robert at Barter Hordes. You might be in the middle of watching a bunch of videos about it because we just went through the first round of the 2022 year. But anyway, it seeks to judge the best in literary fiction, translated fiction, and nonfiction published in the U.S. In 2021 this year. We have judges from all around the world with BookTube channels or, otherwise involved in the online bookish community. And I've been taking part as a volunteer judge for the last few years. It's such a great time to read books and get to discuss them with a group of people, get to see what we all think of them. We start with long lists of 42 books per division, and then we whittle them down until they get to, a winner and runners up. And now we're on to round number 2, the quarterfinals. For round number 2, I am judging nonfiction Group A for the quarterfinals. And it is a very diverse group of books in terms of genre and topics. I have my work cut out for me in how to, compare and rank these books. I haven't started reading them yet, so these are my preliminary thoughts. And I'll start with just showing you a montage of the covers. Okay, I am just going off the cuff with my thoughts here. I am looking at the nice graphic that Robert put on the BookTube Prize homepage, which I'll link below. All of the groups are listed there and the books in contention. So the one I know most about is the memoir, Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zanner. Memoir is definitely my favored nonfiction genre because I'm mostly a teen fiction person, so memoir can be quite similar to that. And I know that this one made quite a splash. In fact, my aunts were in town a couple of weeks ago, and one of them was sitting with me and just showing me the books that were on her holds list at her library, and Crying in H Mart is the only one I actually recognized, so I am very excited to get the chance to read it here, and I think the big thing will be for me to not give it too much bias beforehand, bias in favor, because I'm expecting good things, and it's a genre I'm pretty familiar with and comfortable with. On the opposite side of the scale, we have A World on the Wing by Scott Weidensaul. This is the nature book. It is about migratory birds, and I've had trouble with nature books that I've read in the past for the BookTube Prize, and I'm hoping that it's not just a me thing, that, I legitimately had reasons to rank them as low as I did in the past. But anyway, I want to go into this. I want to like nature books. I want to like science books, and I am keen to learn more about birds. It is such a popular subgenre of nature writing on BookTube, so I want in on that action. Another book I guess I'm slightly concerned about is The Black Church by Henry Louis Gates Jr. Because I read a book by him for a previous BookTube Prize and I ranked it pretty low, so I'm not sure if I'll get along with his writing in this book. But that being said, of course the subject matter in and of itself is interesting, and I feel particularly predisposed to it for this quarterfinals round, because for the octafinals, where I've judged fiction, I read The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois by Honoré Fernon Jeffers, which is very much about African-American culture in America, and The Black Church is definitely a strong subplot in that, so this should be very nice and supplementary. Here's a book I actually voted for on the long list. I also voted for Crying in H Mart on the long list, but this one is a work of historical nonfiction. It is Facing the Mountain by Daniel James Brown, which is about the history of some Japanese American soldiers in World War II. And what struck me with that is that I wanted to read about the Japanese American experience in World War II. And this one is very particular to soldiers, and that was what was there and what was published and on the long list. So I thought, let's go for it, and now I'm hoping it lives up. Then we have Nuclear Folly, A History of the Cuban Missile Crisis by Serhii Plokhy. And my first thought with this one is I am nervous that most of my recent knowledge of the Cuban Missile Crisis has come from Marvel movies, and that doesn't seem like a great thing. So time to go to the source, really, to some strong, hopefully, nonfiction to see what this was really about. And finally, the sixth book I'll be reading on this ballot is A Swim in the Pond in the Rain by George Saunders. And this is a book of literary criticism, I think is how I would describe it. He will be looking at Russian short stories and explaining how they work, basically. I feel like other than the memoir, this kind of is the one that's most in my wheelhouse, I suppose, because I was once upon a time an English major, and so this feels like the English major's book, because he is sort of recounting, I believe, how he teaches his classes, and it really rounds out this nonfiction ballot to be very diverse in the types of genres, like I said before, and I'm hoping that he makes Russian short fiction, approachable. I guess that's obviously the point of publishing a book, is to make a subject matter approachable. So we shall see how it goes. But that's all I will be saying about any of these books right now. I will be mum on them for the next 2 months because as a judge, I do not want to sway any of the opinions. We are all quietly going through our judging of the quarterfinals, and then we will convene sometime in the beginning of June, when Robert announces which books are advancing. Then we judges finally get to talk about our reading experiences and what we personally voted for. I'm already excited for that, but I suppose first I should go ahead and read the books. And I will be holding them up on my Friday Reads videos just to, hype the BookTube prize even more, but I won't be discussing them specifically. You'll have to go back to this video for my rambling preliminary thoughts. So that about covers it for me now. I will also leave the Goodreads links for all of these books listed down below if you would like more information on them. And I hope to be back in the next few days to do a page 112 tag video, because apparently I am in the mood right now of solidifying my April and May TBRs. So I'll be adding one book from my page 112 tag to the April list, and then whatever books come in from the library first, they're already coming in for the BookTube prize, so that's exciting. It doesn't seem like I'll actually have to buy any of these books this time. They're all pretty readily available, so huzzah for that. As another parting note, just for funsies, I've been tracking the BookTube prize in literary fiction and nonfiction, which are the divisions I signed up for here with these lists. These were the lists of books that were eligible that we voted for the long lists. And just, absolutely for my own enjoyment, I've been tracking how the books have been doing ever since. And so as of right now, for the quarterfinals, 6 of the books that I voted for the long list in fiction have made it to the quarterfinals. And 8 of the books I voted for in nonfiction are still in the quarterfinals. So it's already whittled down pretty small. We'll see how many make it to the semifinals after this. But so long as all of my fellow judges keep on reading and keep on voting, I'll be happy enough, I think, with whatever books make it to the finals, especially if everybody shares their thought processes with me along the way. I love that part of the BookTube prize, and I guess on that note I could go ahead and continue watching some of the recent videos from the octafinals. And also my battery seems to be dying, so another reason to wrap it on up here. So yes, thank you so much for sticking with me, everyone. And I'll see you next time.